40 degrees as usual. Now really important. Good morning. Day number 6. Day number 6, I think. Goal for today is Podgorica. Distance is 95 kilometers, but almost only downhill. I have elevation 400 or 500 meters for all ride 95 kilometers. I should wash my face at first and then to get a breakfast. My breakfast is included in my room hire. That's my breakfast, omelette and coffee americano. So, bon appetit. So guys, I set it off. The road is, our distance is 95 kilometers, almost everywhere is downhill. So just riding, and I'm showing you what we have on the road. For example, this one. Turn to Żabliak. No, no, no. Nikšić. Because on the main road we have a really cool speed, but a huge traffic, and with a high speed you should to be much more responsible, much more concentrated. Road is closed, so let's check it out. Totally free. Great. Here the bridge. It's weird, but today my knee is not pain. Cross. No, we don't need upstairs. We were there. That's a monastery, Ostrog. Do you see monastery over there? That's a monastery Ostrog. We were there in winter, last time. Rode from there to there. And you see the cars are driving uphill. And we're riding downhill. Zeta River. And we have heading along it almost till Podgorica. 35 kilometers from Podgorica, 40 degrees as usual. I can't find words, polite words to explain my feelings. Going ahead. We are in Podgorica, several kilometers to home, maybe 5-8. So guys, I'm at home. Cool, success. Let's go to Lagopet. So guys, my ride, six day ride accomplished. I think the total sum up I have to do a bit later, but for today, what do we have? We have 96 kilometers 0.08, average speed 22.9 kilometers per hour, ascent 453 meters, so that the descent was something about 1800. The batteries, inner battery 60%, external battery 13%. And what I should do, I should to analyze all my data to make summary, what was done right, what was wrong, what I should to change, what I shouldn't, about my physical conditions, about my mental conditions. So everything should to analyze and to add at the end of this video, I think. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. That's last trip, last ride of this trip, but we have to go further with new rides, new adventures. So if you like this video, please thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I see you in a new video, in new journeys. Finally, guys, it's time to sum up the trip. Over 6 days, I covered 415 kilometers with a total elevation gain of 6,210 meters. I camped in a tent at a campsite twice and stayed in the motels 3 times. So let's begin from bike. Overall, the bike performed exceptionally well. I encountered no issues with the motor, battery or gear shifter. The only minor issue was that the front brake rotor darkened on a steepy downhills. Even though I made stops to let it cool down. Since I didn't leave the bike in the rain, I recommended to use a compact tent tarp for protection. The bags. Geosmina, Aero and EGB are worked perfectly. The Fix Plus mount on the fork, that's a new one, I didn't report to you about it, and Aero also did the great job. I was initially worried about Fix Plus because they hasn't on the bottom holder for bag, but tightening the straps on the bag solved this question. If I hadn't needed to bring my laptop, I could have managed with one less bag. The laptop took up half of the Aero bag. Now, really important, if you want maximum autonomy and your fitness level allows you to tackle 2,000-meter climbs in a day, or if you are planning for more than one night of wild camping, would be better to have ordinary regular bike. This one just doesn't have enough capacity for such demands. You would end up spending too much time with searching charges, charging points, charging process, and only to barely get by on minimum power. And riding the e-bike without using motor and battery, that's insane. And that's hard, really hard, much harder than the ordinary bike. Second, gear. My tent, sleeping bag, mate, what else? Cooking gear, all worked perfectly. I have no complaints or desires for upgrades. I carried just 1 day's worth of food at a time because we are in Europe. Next one is a personal experience. The first day mentally was tough. I wasn't fully into my journey, my trip, though physically it was relatively easy. By the third day I got saddle sores, but the cream I bought along saved not only my butt, but all my journey. I apply it in the morning and it works well till the lunch, maybe 3 p.m. Actually, mornings were the most productive time. I handled climbs with ease on the minimum assistant mode, and it doesn't matter what gradient it were. But in the afternoon or closer to evening, I often use the medium mode especially for steepy and long uphills. Due to the lack of planning and of course my sore butt, I wasn't able to complete wall ride to Kotor Bay, but I promise to do it next time. I shoot to got 3 days free. Next steps. On a bike I need to replace the saddle. The default one from Merida is fine for rides up to 50 kilometers. Actually, it doesn't matter what kind of saddle do you use up to 50 kilometers. But longer, for long rides, that's a challenge. The problematic is it's hard to find any kind of good saddles in Montenegro. It's hard to measure, it's impossible to test it, so I need to figure out the solution. And the last point is planning. I've realized the rule for myself. Take whatever distance you plan to ride and divide it in half. If you plan for 100 kilometers, so expect to ride 50. If you plan to conquer 1800 meters of elevation, plan 1000. That way you are more likely to exceed your plan rather than fall short. Although I tried to account for all possible scenarios, there were no major surprises. I gained immense pleasure and invaluable experience from this trip. You might ask, what is the hardest part of the trip? Actually, the hardest is convincing my wife to let me go for a week. That's strangely, but no one ever talks about this. But it's honestly the most challenging and perhaps the most expensive part of the journey. For this, I'm especially grateful to my wife. So guys, that's all my conclusions about this ride. Maybe later in my head will appear something new and I will share with you, because we have to meet in next videos. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. See you in new adventures. Bye.